Hey, what's up guys? Gons here with this week's word of encouragement, and it comes from Isaiah chapter 4 verses 2 through 6. Here's what it says. In that day the branch of the Lord shall be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and appealing for those of Israel who have escaped. And it shall come to pass that he who is left in Zion and remains in Jerusalem will be called holy, everyone who is recorded among the living in Jerusalem. When the Lord has washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and purged the blood of Jerusalem from her midst, by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning, then the Lord will create above every dwelling place of Mount Zion, and above her assemblies, a cloud and smoke by day, and the shining of a flaming fire by night. For over all the glory there will be a covering, and there will be a tabernacle for shade in the daytime from the heat, for a place of refuge and a shelter from the storm and rain. Now it starts off, in that day the branch of the Lord shall be beautiful and glorious. Of course, the branch of the Lord is in reference to Jesus and the believers multiple times in the Bible. Jesus used this imagery in John 15:5 when he talked about how he was the vine and we are the branches. And there's probably a near and far application to passages like these. When it comes to the far application, it certainly can be describing either the millennial kingdom or the new heaven and the new earth, where truly the branch of the Lord, those who believe in him, will be beautiful and glorious, fully restored with our new bodies. And the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and appealing for those of Israel who have escaped. Escaped what? Judgment. Verse 3, and it shall come to pass that he who is left in Zion and remains in Jerusalem will be called holy, everyone who is recorded among the living in Jerusalem. A conscious separation from the world and the flesh to abide in the will of God. They are considered the remnant after judgment, which means all other forms of goodness, so to speak, of being attractive, of being beautiful, fashionable, in with the times, or whatever it is. Those are not the main indicators of holiness. Verses 4 through 6 gets into more of how the world will look like when the branch of the Lord reigns. And it says right here, the Lord has washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, which means there is going to be this cleansing, and that this cleansing doesn't come easily. Again, it comes from the spirit of judgment and the spirit of burning. And obviously the cloud of smoke by day and the shining flaming fire by night is in reference to the days of Exodus, which means that something about that is going to be present again in this time when Jesus is physically back on earth. And of course, relying on the Lord, his glory will be a covering, and there will be a tabernacle for shade in the daytime from the heat, for a place of refuge, and for a shelter from storm and rain. I hope you're encouraged with this passage here, because it really shows, or at least identifies, where we are or where we will be when Jesus returns. Because when you think about how a sort of earthly thing would look, if this is in reference to the millennium, or if it's in reference to after that with the new heaven and the new earth, regardless, it's clear that he's going to be here. His presence will be right here on earth, and it will be something to behold. But again, that indicator, what separates those people that are the branch of the Lord in that time, or even now, is holiness. So be encouraged, if you're part of the branch of the Lord, that you will be washed clean and restored by the Lord himself, and his presence will be here one day. Have an awesome week, guys. God bless.